Guys, I was shaking, I was frightened, I didn't know what to do. My heart was beating, I was sweating, I had headaches. These were my hands, I could not work. It was crazy. People, welcome and welcome back to Freedom with Fridah. In case you're new here, hi, my name is Fridah Nguku and this is the best space for you. So subscribe and join the family. Returning subscribers, thank you so much for being here. Now, guys, I had corona a few weeks ago. I actually had corona. Did I get tested? No, I did not get tested. My kitty napiga kelele. I did not get tested because I was like, even if I get tested and I'm positive, then what? They won't give me any medicine. They'll be like probably antibiotics and quarantine and all that. So I decided to quarantine myself and take some antibiotics. And it took me 2 weeks. I was coughing, I had headaches, I had pains, I had eyes were painful. I had a flu. It was terrible. But anyway, I'm back and I'm okay and I'm grateful. And sometimes until we get back to normal, that's when we realize how important good health is. Anyway, be grateful for that good health. Let's talk about anxiety attack. I decided to share my experience today because when this anxiety attack happened to me, guys, I didn't know what it was. I was just like, this has happened, something is wrong, I don't know what is wrong, and I started to blame myself and all those kind of things. Only now, a few days ago, when I discussed with a friend of mine who actually went through anxiety attack, we were like, wait, that is anxiety attack? And we were like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my goodness, then I went through it. So I decided to share the experience with you because I feel like the society has made us believe that these things like anxiety attack, panic attack are things that just can't happen to normal human beings. Like they happen to some people. You know, kisikia mtu anapatanga anxiety attack, you're like, we, kwani kona shida gani? Kwani what are they going through? Like we have zero knowledge of these things. That when they happen to other people, we tend to think there's something wrong with them, or we tend to think it's such a severe thing, you know, like it's such a serious issue. When in real sense, it's not as serious as is, but sometimes when it gets to the other side, which is panic attack, it actually can be serious. So I Googled, and this the definition they gave me. Anxiety attack is a fear of specific occurrence or problem that could happen. So you're fearing that this problem could happen or this thing could happen. So that fear is what causes that, you know, that reaction. It happens when someone fears something wrong could happen. It is non-medical. It's a non-medical term that refers to a feeling of fear or worry that often relates to a particular issue or concern. So I realize when it comes to anxiety attack, there's a specific thing that is making you worry or making you have the fear. It's linked to stress. Sometimes it could be linked to stress, fear, or worry. Often involves physical symptoms. All right. So now there's a difference between panic attack and anxiety attack, and that's where I want you guys to get it. So you don't go say, I got a panic attack. So panic attack apparently is more severe. Panic attack is like a continuous thing that you've carried, and now you can't really say that I was fearing this. You can't really say that I was fearing my exam or fearing an accident that was coming. No. And then the symptoms are severe, and they say sometimes you can actually get into death. So I feel like panic attack is like a continuous occurrence. Since it doesn't have a specified thing, it's that worry has been with you or the stress that's accumulated and now it's just trying to just come out. As symptoms of anxiety attack could be changes in heartbeat, which I experienced, restlessness, and knot of the stomach. They also said anxiety attack could be triggered by, it could be exam, it could be workplace, and it could be a relationship. And I was like, wait a minute, actually a relationship could trigger anxiety attack? And I was like, yeah, like when you have the fear of my husband is gonna leave me, my wife is gonna leave me, my wife is cheating on me, you know, those things could actually cause anxiety attack. And now on to today's topic. Let me talk about my experience with anxiety attack. So in my case, it wasn't panic attack, it was actually anxiety attack. So I started my business last year, 2020, when Corona hit, and I actually just turned a year old. I celebrated first anniversary on 22nd of July. Yay! Super grateful. Anyway, so before I started my business, I done my research. I normally do research. I'm like, you know what, I need to get into this thing knowing what I'm doing. So I got to get trained on installation, because you got to be trained, you get to know how to go about it, because as much as I'm selling these things, the wallpapers, again, I need to understand the art that comes into installation, so that I'm able to explain to a client why I'm charging the way I'm charging, or what goes into all that, and also to be able to show you guys how it's done, like you've seen on different YouTube videos on how you can install wallpapers. So I went through the training, and this amazing guy taught me, Fridah. I'm sure you've seen him on my channel. So I got trained and I was ready to do installation. Not sure, like in my thinking, I'm like, I was ready to do installation, but I wasn't so sure because I wasn't tested. Then I get a client who calls me and tells me, by the way, I found you on YouTube and I've realized you do wallpapers. So can you install for me? And I want you to be the one to install for me, because it was a woman. She was a woman. The client was a lady. So she was like, could you kindly just come and install for me? Because I don't want a man installing for me. And you're the only lady I know that does installation. So when I saw you, I was excited that a lady is the one that is going to come to my house. And I was like, oh my goodness. This is happening. So I was in Nakuru then, and she was in Nairobi, and she was like, you know what, I'm actually going to pay your fare so you can come and install. And I was like, okay, fine. It was very specific that she didn't want a man doing the installation, and that's okay. Clients are different. So I traveled all the way from Nakuru, I come to Nairobi, and since I had the fear of, I don't know how this is gonna happen, I told my brother, you know what, take me for some installation. So we were supposed to do, I think, 3 rolls. Yeah. And it was not a plain wallpaper, it was actually a patterned wallpaper. Patterned wallpaper is not like what you're seeing, the black. This is black wallpaper, which means in a pattern you have to follow the pattern and ensure that it's flawless. If you want to see more of that, please check my my wallpaper installation videos on the description box. So I take my brother, take my sister's car, and we head there. So my brother has no idea. I didn't tell him that it's like I am worried or anything. For him, it was like, as you do these things. So we go and we get to the client's house. And now the wall I was supposed to install, one is an arc. Guys, arc. So arc is like, when you're coming from the sitting room heading to the dining room, these houses, the modern house nowadays, wanekanga kiki kinapita hivi. So it's not like a straight, a cornered wall. It's carved, yeah? It looks like an arc. So she was like, this is where you're installing. My goodness, guys, I freaked out. Like, I freaked out. I was like, shit, how do I cut? How does the wallpaper now go around? That was my first mistake, freaking out. Like, when I saw the wall, in my thinking, I thought, it's just a plain wall. It's very easy to install. Well, not very easy. It's easier to install a plain wall that is cornered. But now when you get an arc or you get a circle, yeah. So I was like, my goodness. So I freaked out first. The good thing is, and this one thing, I thank God that I carried my brother with me. I went there with my brother. So at least I had someone there, because if I was alone, guys, So I saw the arc and I was like, shit, I freaked out. Then normally we get stools or a ladder, so that now you're able to step on it and be able to reach up there, because you cannot install wallpaper when you can't reach the top bit of it. It will be stressful and it will not be as flawless as it should be. So they gave me a stool that was not. Yes, I was getting there, but I was still straining to touch at the top of the wall. So another freak out. I'm like, shit, nakuna stool ingine. I'm like, what do I do? So I am here. I have my cutter ready. I have my scrubber ready. My brother is there. He knows nothing about wallpaper, zero. At least now he knows. He knew nothing about wallpapers. For him, it's just to just be there in case I need nipatlishie kitu. You just nipatlishia. So clearly can't help me in any way. So I go up there. My goodness, remembering that occurrence actually freaks me out. So at the corner of the wall, before now the arc starts, they had put some photos and some what are they called, face holders, like they had flowers, so they had shelves that were holding them, and now I could not remove the shelves. I just had to install the wallpaper around that. Another problem, because now I'm imagining the kind of cutting that is gonna happen around that place. So I take my knife and my wallpaper, I measure the piece that I need to apply glue, and then I'm doing everything, my brother can't do anything. Then the moment I start rolling the glue onto the paper, my hands were shaking. So my issue was, what if I tear this wallpaper? Now, let me take you back. Once I got to the house and I stepped on that stool to install, the lady literally just sat there, like this is the wall, she sat there and she was like this, literally looking at every step I take. I freaked out. Like, I wish she just left for even 10 minutes so my heart can... So one, I'm a perfectionist. I want things to just appear the best. Two, it's the first time I'm installing a wallpaper. Three, it's a patterned wallpaper, a button one. This is what we call button. A button wallpaper. I'm like, how am I gonna do this? And now, when you got there, we removed another wallpaper to install another one. And the one she removed because she said, one, the person that installed did it the wrong way. So already she has a mentality of, our wallpaper wanekanga vibaya. So when she said that, I think also that freaked me out again. So I was worried. The fear of not doing this well, the fear of tearing that wallpaper, the fear of falling from that stool down, the fear of not being able to finish this, and she has paid fare all the way from Nakuru to Nairobi, the fear of everything, and the fear that I don't know any other woman who can do installation for her, yet she wanted a woman. All that was a problem. So my heartbeat went from 172 to I think 100. Like, it was now my brother is there and he's clueless, but then I think he sensed something is wrong. So he's looking at me, and then I decided, let me tell him, because for me, that was a way of letting out. So I'm speaking in Embu and I'm telling him, Kai, Aki manze, hii imenishinda, mimi sijui kama nitaweza. Aki, I'm freaking out. I'm shaking. And then he's looking at me. I think when he looked at me, then he realized, okay, something is wrong. Because guys, nimeshikilia wallpaper juu, and my hands are doing this. So I can't even cut it. So in the process of cutting and trying to fit in there, ikararuka. Like, my client is just looking at me like, what are you doing? For a freaking 5 minutes, I was shaking, my heart was beating, everything was everywhere, I was sweating, I was going through hell. Like, in 5 minutes, I had gone through enough hell. The woman is not even talking. I wish she spoke. I wish she said, na hapo utaweka. I wish she said something. But my goodness, I freaked out. My heart was beating. My stomach was like, ni kama imefungwa. Literally. So when I read this anxiety attack definition, it said, not in the stomach. Like, you feel like your stomach has been... Then something told me, you can't do this, Fridah. You just can't do this. You need to leave. Now, I was ready actually to pay for someone to come do the installation in my presence, right? Just to ensure and not charge the lady, because I would have wasted her day. I was ready for all that. Then my brother was like, utafanya, imagine utaweka, tulia, relax, breathe in, itaweka, uko sawa. Now she's talking, kwa hapo tu nyuma yangu, akijifanya anapanguza wall, nini, but it is that she's trying to encourage me, because guys, it was very physical. You could see something is wrong. And once a client realizes you don't know what you're doing, they also lose trust in you. So what I did is I nilishuka chini and took my phone and acted like I supposed to be on call, and I just went out. Nika breathe in and out. Breathe. So I am, even when I'm walking, my body, the whole body is shaking literally. My heart is beating. Nikaenda nje and I called Freddy. I called the guy and I asked questions that were not actually related to what I was going through. Nilimuuliza tu, by the way, tukitoa wallpaper tunafaa kupaka sijui maji. I knew that, but I just wanted to know. Akaniambia, itatoka tu, iko sawa, nini. Nikamwambia, ndio mara yangu ya kwanza. Akaniambia, utakuwa sawa. Those words is what I needed, like coming from someone who's doing that. And I'm like, so I paved around, like I'm talking on phone. Then my heart relaxed a little bit, and I was like, Fridah, this client does not want anyone else to install. You're already here, umesha choma mafuta. Is your company is at stake. Because when she saw me, she was like, kuna place ingine nataka unifanyie contact paper, so your company is at stake. Grow up. Like, I told myself, grow up. And thank God I did. Thank God? I wish I knew it was anxiety attack, because I think I would have handled it differently. Like, I'll be like, it's just the fear. You'll be okay. So after like 3 minutes of paving out and all that, and sweating and having headache, like, it was serious, guys. Then I went back and I told my brother, I have to do this. And he was like, how can I help? I'm like, no, you just be here. That's it. Then I went up the wall, and the client was like, unakaa unaelewa your job. Oh, when she said that, my heart just relaxed. Like, nearly relaxed too, guys. I was like, that's it. I am here to do this. And that's how I installed. And now the interesting bit is, that is one of the clients I have installed for that was super excited and super happy with what I did. Like, I think the fact that she wanted me to do the installation, that alone had so much trust in her that she was like, she did well. Like, and the wallpaper turned out so brilliantly. Like, I was like, wow, Fridah. And this reminded me of how much fear can hold us back. Like, I had gotten to a point where I now actually wanted to call someone and tell them, you know what, just come and do this. I can't do it. Then I even remember now I can actually ask them to give me a table and then place the stool on top of the table so that I'm able to reach up there, because if I didn't do that, I was gonna fall. And it was going to be a long fall. But that was my experience, guys. Now, speaking with my friend the other day and talking about anxiety attack is when it hit me. My goodness, that was actually anxiety attack. Like, I've actually experienced this. So in case you go through such a scenario or you have that fear, you need to know first that that is just fear. It's not about to happen. That is just fear. So know that, because the mind knowing that it's just fear is going to process it. It's going to process that differently. Then now from there, if it's something that needs you to walk around, to breathe in and out, or call someone who understands what it is and let them calm your nerves, that's all you need to do, because in 5 minutes, 3 minutes, imagine it's gone and you're back to normal. So again, be able to differentiate between panic attack and anxiety attack so that you know how to deal with the two, because panic attack feels like a prolonged fear that has been there. It doesn't have a specified occurrence or a problem that is approaching. It just happens. So let's avoid stress, guys. Let's avoid stress and let's not let fear do all that. And now when I spoke to Freddy about this experience, he told me for him it was even worse. For him, he installed wallpapers and then he left. Now for him, he didn't get anxiety attack. He just told me his experience. He installed wallpapers and he left, and all the wallpapers just fell. So imagine if that happened for me that day. I swear, ningeanguka na ninge faint. I've never fainted in my life. That would have been the first faint. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Now, after listening to this and you probably didn't know much about anxiety attack, have you experienced this? Is this something you've experienced and you actually didn't know it was anxiety attack? Just share with me on the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up, please do. And yeah, see you on my next video. Stay positive, stay focused, and see you on the next video. Bye.